Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Demon possession. What is it? When I was young, they used to tell me that demons were fallen angels that became demons. And as I got older, even not even older, when I was younger, I used to understand, they used to tell me that every bad thought came from fallen angels that came to this earth and became demons, and they influenced people into doing bad things. They helped people make bad decisions. And my mind would always ponder on that. Where exactly is that? When you talk about demons and angels, what are demons and angels? You can get so caught up into a biblical term, and see, I don't think of all the Bible as being bad, or the Quran. I believe some of it's based on history. Whether it's misunderstood, or if you're sitting back and you're trying to put your mind to think about what another man did 10,000 years ago or 20,000 years ago, your mind is going to get warped, because we don't live in the same time zones. The things are different. Technology is different. Culture is different. So what people did 10, 20,000 years ago is hard to really get an idea on. And then actually when you come back to it and you start to talk about angels, demons, and what God is, it gets warped. I'm not going to say that aliens don't exist, because when I read the Bible, I don't ever see that this God is actually from this planet. This is not where he lives. This is a visitation point. This is something where whoever that this was inspired by was actual person who visited Earth and set up something, and he left. I.e., the thing is, they actually get up, and after they establish and say, well, at some point in time, you can come here too, which is always stated as being heaven or paradise. So you look at these things, and you look at what you're dealing with, and you go back to what a demon is, what an angel is, what demon possession is. Even if you were to read the book of Enoch, I think demon possession is ideas. And ideas hold a lot of energy. What people think in their mind, they spread to your mind. And some people get possessed by ideas. Really, when it comes down to it, it's based on a belief system, a thought process, and that person takes that and they engulf it into their very being. Ideas is like eating. When you consume an idea, either it's going to be good for you, bad for you, but it's going to produce something. And all things have manifestations, regardless of how small or big. So when I look in my world now, from my eyes and from what my ears hear, I see a lot of things going on where people are influenced by money, I think that's the reason why people are so blind. As I sit back right now and I look at this whole thing with people running to get chicken sandwiches and having Popeyes backed up, I think a lot of times that's a different type of possession. People are going through a lot and they're trying to find any way out. I've been one where a lot of times I've taken on eating as in a way of dealing with my emotions. And I think a lot of people do that. If it's not drugs, if it's not sex, if it's not, something that can take their mind off of their present situation, and that release of happiness happens to block whatever frustration or dis-ease they have in their present life at that particular time that either they don't want to deal with, not willing to deal with, or unaware that they have. So demon possession comes into a lot of things, as in where a person's mind is going. I can't look at a biblical thing of sitting back watching, I guess, exorcists, and you have things blown out of proportion in Hollywood. But the real truth of it is, anybody who had a new idea, or new concept of thinking, I guess in the 1700s, was demon possessed. The fact that a woman might have wanted to be independent could have sparked that she was demon possessed, and she could be hanged for it, or whatever torture that someone could come up with. Even in black people and being slaves, maybe the demon possession part was, how could you not want to be a slave? How is this concept of freedom even going through your brain? What would you do? Where would you go? How would you make your living? There's a lot of questions to things sometimes when people, they want to stay in a particular book or belief, and they want to hold on to it, but when it comes to being possessed by good ideas, I'm open to it. Something that's going to work, I'm open to it. Now, if you tell me, I want you to be possessed with, capitalism and greed, that's a demon that I might not have. I want enough of that to know how to make money, to make ends meet, and to be secure, but I don't want to be to the point where I have a $25 million watch and I'm walking around and that's what makes me feel good. I want to be at a point where I can just be happy and secure, and be at balance, That's the demon I want to be possessed with, And even in that selfishness, of wanting things to be alright with me, I judge myself. And when I judge myself, I see no problems with me taking care of myself or anybody else taking care of themselves. I've heard stories, when I was in church, when I was a kid, about people being demon possessed and things of that nature. And sometimes I don't know if it's made up or whatever the case. I think, honestly, truthfully speaking, as I get older, I think some of the shit was made up. I don't say that there's not a spiritual world, because I've had a lot of things happen to me as a kid where I know that there is a spiritual world. But in that spiritual world, is it biblical, or does it it stretches across the universe, you know, and that is my biggest question, because, when you talk about the spiritual world in itself, is it just based on energy, and how far can a spirit travel, and even to the point of people being possessed. I've seen people look like they were possessed being on drugs, But is that a biblical thing? Is that one of the things that's actually real, or is that science? When someone being possessed with so many ideas that it consumes them, You sit back and you look at people that have over 100 guns and a bunch of ideas in their head, and no one ever says that this person is demon possessed. They say he's got mental issues, or he's been indoctrinated, but no one ever says demon possession, And when you go buy a gun, I've never seen on an application, are you demon possessed? They ask you if you have mental issues. But neither here nor there on that. But just on looking at things, sometimes we gotta analyze what we doing, how we thinking, and what the facts are, and come up with better ideas on what's going on around us. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.